Hello. I just thought I'd play that off Pablo. Say thank you again. And of course, off we lad, the first one. Hiya, Bear. Hey, Meatball. You're gonna become a party. Hey, Susie. That's a go. Hey, Stokesy. Yeah, I'm asking the question. AW. I'm kind of in two minds, after things I've seen earlier. I'm thinking, if people sign a waiver, why, they've already waived their rights. So why is so much money getting spent trying to save people when they don't even know where they are? And I know they say it's around the Titanic, but if the Titanic's in two halves, who's to say they say it's around the right half of the fucking Titanic? And after watching things before, and yes, I didn't believe everything the news says, but to seeing some things said before, if flaws were picked up and pointed out up to 5 years ago on this sub, then should the person in charge of that I can't think of the company's name right now, should the person in charge of that company, should they be saved, held liable for putting people in that position to start with? And as they've all signed waivers, should they actually pay for the fucking rescue fees if they're all come back safe and well? I'm glad somebody isn't leaving soon. She's gonna be fucked. Firstly, you'd have to fucking get me down that far, quite honestly. But the safety flaws that I'm seeing, it's saying that the window that they look out of was only signed off up to a depth of 1,300 metres, or 1,300 feet, whatever it is. And they were taking them down over 4,000. So that in itself just says that the company should be liable anyway. I think I'd have a bit more, hopefully I'd have a bit more common sense, AW, quite honestly. I think shouldn't these things have been put in place before they even took it down there anyway? Shouldn't they have some sort of rescue plan in place anyway? You're supposed to take everything into account, aren't you? The waiver wasn't against their rights. Yeah, but the waiver was to say that things could happen, couldn't they? They were taking the risk. Hey, Shorty. I don't know if I just said that or not, but hello. Canadian P3 aircraft. Detected underwater noises in the search area. Yeah, but they're saying that they don't even know what them noises were. They heard the noises, but they don't even know what they were. So who's to say that that's off the people anyway? And I kind of think, if you're hearing stuff off radar and something's coming back, then surely you'd send a signal out and see where, if it hits something. Isn't that what radars do? Isn't that how fucking subs in the war found each other to blow each other up? And I have to say it again, how the fuck does someone lose a sub? How the fuck does it go missing to start with? I kind of think that the same, Lindsay. And I'm going to apologise if you hear banging and bashing. My neighbours next door are ripping the house out. So, yeah, that's what the noises will be. As much as it's part of history, it's also all on people's grave. I think that's like the obvious question. How the fuck do you lose a sub? Surely it's got to be, something attached to the. Like the other, I'd imagine a ship on the top, as it's going down. Surely there was some sort of plan in place, and I guess things can happen, that are unexpected, but again, how the fuck does it go missing? Our sub is tiny compared to the area they are searching. Yeah, but as I said, if they're searching round the Titanic, if the Titanic's in two halves and are miles apart from each other, who's to say they're searching around the right half? They could be wasting their time searching around, I don't know, the front half of the Titanic when they could have been looking at the back ends of it. Hey, David. I'm good. I'm just too hot. It's just too hot today. How you doing? Hey, cheeky. We can find spaceships and aliens. We can't find a sub. Exactly. Hey, Fra. Hope you're good.
Yo.
Hello, Lindsay.
They should leave the fucking Titanic alone, right? And they can find them people. They've got military equipment that they can dangle out the side of a Wessex helicopter that can detect the sub miles away.
See, part of me is thinking if they've gone down there to see if they can loot the Titanic of whatever's left as well.
Well, they can't loot it because they can't get out. And that submarine they were in had no arms or anything on it. It was just a capsule. Serves them fucking right. They should leave the dead to be dead down there where they should be, and they should just fucking leave it alone. It's nothing to do with them. Do you know what I mean? It's a piece of history under the waves, and it should be left there.
Is that actually you, Bert? Kind of getting a bit dodgy,
What?
Oh, there's just a fake bear going around fucking porn bombing people, isn't it?
Oh. At the end of the day, the geezer knew the risks when he jumped in that capsule.
Hey, Bert.
You sound like fucking Hitler, you two. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. Fucking leave it alone. They can do what the fuck they want. They're billionaires. They can do what they want.
Yeah, but listen, they can't because there's consequences to it. That's the reason why they're lying in a fucking capsule under the sea.
But they can still do what they want, can't they?
Well, they technically can't now because they're probably dead.
That's like saying no one can climb Mount Everest anymore because it's a graveyard, or we shouldn't save anybody that climbs Mount Everest because it's just fucking stupid to even try to do it. No, man, people have the right to do what they want. Unfortunately, shit happens, and sometimes we have to rescue people.
Yeah, but you've got to understand, that's some people's final resting place. They should just respect it and leave it alone. You don't go to a graveyard digging people up to see what they look like, do you? So you should just leave the Titanic alone.
I don't know. I reckon there's plenty of other graveyards around the globe that we disrupt every day of the week, probably.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
we're
if the
digging
sub
them.
was not, if the sub was not worthy to go down to that depth to start with, and people had raised concerns years ago, and they were not addressed, then surely they should be held liable for what's happening now.
Yeah, I definitely think there'd be a reform in the way private companies are allowed to carry out certain expeditions. I think we will definitely see a change in the law, maybe to a degree, but private companies, man, they can do what they want, can't they? They're paying for it or whatever. But I do agree, like that waiver was fucking a bit brutal, to be honest. Anyone that's willing to sign that and then still go ahead.
I mean, they basically put a price on their own heads. You know, what the fate to go climb. They put their own price on their own life.
But
all I'm going to say is the curse of the Titanic.
Sorry, mate.
Huh?
What'd you say, mate? Sorry.
I said all I'm going to say is the curse of the Titanic.
Yeah, well, yeah, it probably is cursed, isn't it? You know, 20 years ago, someone went down there as well and got stuck behind the propeller. Luckily, they survived it and managed to get back to the surface. But yeah, definitely say maybe a bit of a curse on that area.
Yes, indeed.
But I see Anne-Marie's title and was thinking, fucking hell, thank God Anne-Marie's not leading the search. she'll still be there at this point, wondering, should we go save them or not? Do you think they deserve to be saved?
See, no, I'd think logically and think all of these plans should have been put in place before that even entered the water. There should have been search and rescue plans put in place to start with. You know, if the worst should happen.
I think, I could be wrong, right? But I think when it comes to something like that, there is nothing that you can put in place beforehand.
No, you can't. And where it is off the east coast of Canada, very rough water.
Yeah, and like it is probably one of the most precedented now rescue missions at sea, I would say, for sure. For sure. But I'll tell you now, I believe they're all dead.
I do as well. I think they were dead.
That submarine imploded, bro. I think that's what's happened.
Have you seen the size of it? You know, they've barely just got enough space to actually sit five people in it.
It's like a fucking baked bean tin.
Say again, mate.
I said it's like a baked bean tin.
It is, isn't it?
Just needs Heinz written across the side of it in coloured fucking blue. Oh well,
yeah,
fuck it.
Also, what Outlaw King said in the chat, he was right. Like you don't actually have any rights at sea, not in international waters. You don't actually have any rights. There aren't actually any laws, even so to speak, either.
Well, there's maritime law. Law of the sea.
I appreciate the thoughts on it, but I couldn't really give a shit here. Quite honestly. I don't ask people to hit the like.
Don't hit the like, unsubscribe.
Hit the like. Well, yeah, it'd be nice to get down subs, actually.
And it's everybody's right as well. Not right, but it's everyone's job as well to help with the rescue mission. If you're a boat, private boat, whatever it may be, that's like fucking one of the laws of the sea, man. Everybody has to head over and start fucking trying to save people. But yeah, I don't think anyone will be doing it anytime soon, will they?
Oh, fucking hell, man. I was going to pay to do it next week.
But should they be well, them or their families be paying for their own search and rescue?
Yeah,
No.
I think they should.
No. Oh, you two sound like Hitler, man.
Mate, he's a
What
fucking
is going
multi-millionaire.
on?
Listen, he's got a
I
multi-millionaire.
hate to say it, but
You-
they
You
chose
get
to go
yourself into
down
that
there.
shit. Get yourself out of it.
So if you decided to go down there, you telling me you should have to pay for it?
Well, if it fucked up and it was my problem, yeah, I should have to foot some of the bill, yeah.
Nah, man. Fuck you now. Come on, people.
But, mate, he knew. Listen, at the end of the day, he knew the risks when he went down there. He knew the same could fuck up. So at the end of the day, it's his fault.
Yeah, I know, but again, people know that they could die climbing Mount Everest. But what do we do? Not save people. Oh, no, fuck him. Leave him to freeze to death, die. Not just, just not the way
most
human beings,
most expeditions have a contingency plan if something goes wrong. They didn't have one. You know, most
Still
something.
doesn't mean that they shouldn't be saved or that they should have to pay for their own. That's just absurd that would even
Well,
sit
no,
there and think
they knew.
Yeah,
They
but
knew the
anyone
risks when they
going
done
up
it.
there knows the risks and plans. You know, you'd have safety things in your packs to, you know, if things happen.
You know, most things like that that go underwater, they have some sort of oxygen thingy that's attached to them that will make them resurface. But I don't think they can from that depth. And if they do, it'd be fucking. They'd end up with a bends or something.
No, they did. There's 6 or 7 different things on that vessel that should make them come back to the top. Clearly, they haven't worked.
Well, obviously not.
Clearly, they haven't worked. But to sit here and be like, people should have to pay for their own search, people shouldn't be saved, I think, fucking hell. You sound like a fucking pair of fucking right.
At the end of the day, they took their life into their own hands. They knew that there's dangers behind it. At the end of the day,
I agree with what you're saying, but I still think that someone should be saved, and I believe that.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be saved. That's totally not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they should foot some of the bill. You think of all the man hours, yeah, and people that are out there trying to save them.
Yeah, all that shit's paid for, Indy. We all know that, bro. It's all paid for, bro. All this, it's all paid for. Everything's all paid for in the world. Everything's all paid up, bro. That illusion that, like, it's cost loads of money and the taxpayers are going to have to... That's all an illusion. That's all an illusion. They got the money to go out and do that fucking search thing every day of the week for the next 10 years if they wanted to. All that about, it's cost everyone loads of money. It's cost the taxpayers this. It's all an illusion, mate. It's all a load of bullshit.
What have you been smoking today? Can I have some?
Nothing too special, mate.
Inside of your socks. He's on the cheese, man.
Listen, mate, I just see debate in the title, yeah, and was like, fuck it, we're going to debate today.
I am one, I is Stevie.
Yeah. So whatever you two say, I'm here to oppose. Okay?
Okay, fuck you, you're a wanker. I can't stand you. Get off the live stream, you cunt.
Well, I can't really oppose that one. I'd have to agree. I'm not going to leave the live stream, but everything you said at the beginning...
There you go then. There is no fucking debate then, is there, you little tosser?
That's fucking rude.
Do you know what's
rude? You were
rude?
fucking down in the ocean. I wouldn't save your 2 asses either. Yeah.
Good or what? Listen, I fucking wouldn't want to, because the first thing I'd see when I come up and be sick, mate. That's when I'm looking at your ugly mug. In fact, I'd steal you in the fucking capsule and throw it over myself with me in it. I looked with the 3 holes in it to make sure I ain't coming back up. Fuck.
Oh Lord, let's see, folks.
Shit, my mind just went blank there, man, when thinking of a comeback.
Fucking comeback, my arse.
What about me? I've had more comebacks than Frank Sinatra. What are you on about?
You've got more comebacks than Frank Sinatra, but they haven't fucking lasted you then, have they?
So yeah, you two are fucking evil people. You want to
Yeah,
sit
cool. I'm
around and
glad.
watch
Yeah,
people
brilliant.
not be saved.
Excellent. Woo! I'm sad, crazy motherfucker. Great stuff. I like it.
No,
I
I
might
was
even put
thinking,
that. I might even put that.
yeah,
I might even put that in my bio on Facebook, YouTube. Someone calls me a bastard wanker, cunt face, fucking yeah. That's cool. Do you know the answer to that one? Suck my schlong. There you go. In brackets.
I mean, I'm just thinking, if they don't even know where they are, and the Titanic's in 2 hours, they could be searching the wrong place anyway.
Fucking megalodons eating them. Shut up. Or fucking Free Willy's humping it or something. Big old orc on top of that capsule. Now you're fucked, didn't you? Hey.
Remember, most things that go missing at sea never get retrieved. Fact. Like, they just don't. They don't get retrieved. A lot of things.
Yeah, I lost some sunglasses 10 years ago. I still ain't found them in the sea. Fuck's sake.
That kind of.
Your mic's gone dead low, or you've moved.
Fuck's sake.
Oh,
Hey,
why?
Mystical. Oh, he's gone.
Mystical, we're not saying don't search for him. We're saying he's a fucking billionaire. He should pay for the people's time that have gone out to search and rescue for him. He knew the consequences when he got in the fucking tank, so there you go.
Yeah, it's saying that the window at the lookhouse was only can only go to 1,300 feet. So taking it down, I used to say that didn't blow out on the way down.
Yeah. Yep, they are. They are definitely.
Hiya, Big J.
Well, I'm stuck in my garage. Who's going to come and rescue me?
I'm wondering if he's going to jump back on. If you had the money, Indy, would you pay to go down that far? Though, no, I'm not on about the Titanic, but would you pay
who the
to
fuck?
go down that far?
You've got to remember that there's serious risk going down there. You know, doing anything like that, there's a risk. So at the end of the day, no, I wouldn't put myself in that predicament where I could get stranded at the bottom of the ocean. It's a stupid fucking thing to do, as far as I'm concerned.
I think Susan was saying that he'd been up in space and stuff. So if he's going that high, he's going to go that low as well. And no, it's not Vega. No.
No. You take stupid risks like that, you've got to learn to expect the consequences. It's the same as if I went out into a fucking killing field and there was people shooting each other. You know what I mean? And ran through the middle. I'm going to get hit by a fucking bullet. It's just common sense.
How you 50 times? I mean, what if they have spent all this money though, and you know, as they say, the seas and stuff, it's only a certain amount of time that you can get down there. What if they're just completely searching in the wrong place anyway?
Say that again.
I said, if they're spending this time in the seas, you know, depending on the seas when they can go down, what if they're completely searching in the wrong place anyway?
Well, you do know, even though they're on the bottom of the fucking sea, they're still going to move about because there's still current down there. So I mean, things get with the weather and that, things get pushed along the bottom. Do you know what I mean? Tidal currents and shit like that. Hence the reason why the Titanic's in two halves in two totally different fucking locations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know until today. I knew Bear was saying he was screwed in from the outside, but watching a video before, they said like there's 18 screws from the outside that should seal them in, but there's only 17 that were put in because they couldn't do the top one or something. But then
At the end of
that's
the
just
day-
like nailing someone in the coffin.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, they knew the risks when they went down there. They knew that something could happen. They still went down there, so fuck them. Sorry to say. They knew the risks. It's the same as if I went out and done something and I knew the risks and I fucked up. At the end of the day, nothing to do about it. At the end of the day, the way you've got to look at it is, don't go in a submarine or in a fucking tic-tac under the sea.
Is my sound better now?
Yeah.
No, we can still fucking hear you.
Fucking is Susie in the chat. Susie,
Yeah, why?
fucking sort him out.
She couldn't sort out the fucking washing, let alone me.
Poison him or something. Just slip something in his next drink.
I tried that and I swallowed it and I quite enjoyed it. It got me pissed. That whole bottle of Hypno, I downed it, mate.
But you lot are looking for the negatives, right? What you're not doing is thinking about every time someone does something like that, whether it be for tourist reasons or not, they're
gathering data. They're gathering data.
They're gathering data, bro. We're evolving as human beings.
Don't go down the price we did because there's a good chance you might not survive. Yeah, that's the data.
I can't believe you two could sit there and be like, yeah, pay for it themselves. Or even asking the question, should they be even being saved? I mean, that's crazy. I can't believe we're even debating that.
No, I'm not debating whether. I am not saying they shouldn't be saved. I'm saying they knew that there's consequences to their actions, yeah, and they knew something could happen. So at the end of the day, they took their lives into their own hands, and yeah, they should pay for some of it. I'm not saying they shouldn't have been rescued or shouldn't be rescued, though. Never once said that.
All right.
I mean, that was just a question in the title.
Yeah.
Hence the question mark. I just think if there was so many concerns years ago,
I've got some
why do you still
want to go down and audit them?
money? Go on, Lindsay.
Bear, I've got a snorkel and some hose. Do you want to go down and audit them?
Well, we can go snorkeling, bro, if you want to do that, but we can't go to big depths with a snorkel, can we?
Yeah, you can. Wait, I've just said to you, I've got some fucking hose, mate. We'll attach it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's go.
Or you can use my big plastic fish bowl.
Big Jig, I'm not
I'll just keep on blowing farts and air down it.
I guess the question shouldn't be about whether someone should be saved or whether they should have to pay for their own rescue, but more, should private companies be able to go on these expeditions with no real licensing, no real regulations in place? Should that be allowed? That I would sit here and say probably not. Probably not. The regulations and stuff should have to be a lot stricter before even a private company can carry something like that out.
I mean, if that sub weren't seaworthy to start with, it should never have been. They should never have took money off people and put it in the water to begin with.
Why not? Sorry, Anne-Marie, I missed that.
Yes, Dr. Shorty, I agree with that. Because
it was not designed or able to go to the depths that they were taking it to. It was only certified to go down 1,300 feet, and they were taking it down 4,000.
Yeah.
Under the sea, under the sea.
SpongeBob stuffing after them.
Look, there's very few sub-missile vessels like that, yeah, that can actually go down to those kind of depths, come back up, and be reused. Most things that when they're coming back to the surface, they go through that much damage that a lot of sub-missiles have never been able to be used again.
Mate, listen, they've got UAVs. Listen, they've got UAVs that do the Mariana Trench. That's the deepest place in the ocean, mate. And they use UAVs for that.
Didn't he? Old, what's his name? Mr. Hamish Harding. He actually's been to the bottom of that trench.
Calendar deep Mariana Trench.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I read it that only 2 people have been down just over 10,000 feet.
No, all the way down. I did manage to make it all the way down. Because there's some crazy ass fucking, not very much, it's very short, but there's some clips of some real weird creatures, man. Very weird creatures. And you
Like,
can see the seabed at the bottom.
Anglerfish and shit like that. Goblin sharks.
Fish without eyes and that, bro, because
Yeah.
they're down in such a dark place. They've evolved to not need eyes. Do you know what I mean?
They smell the bullshit.
They smell the fear.
Taste it. Adrenaline's brown, mate. The fish are going to find that out in the next little while.
Have a good day, AW.
What are you working as now, or in Wales? Rent boy?
So I laughed at that.
Well, I heard that he's into digging. I don't know whether or not. He said he's into digging. He says he's doing digging now. I don't know whether or not he's shit digging or with a digger. You know what I mean?
Uphill gardener.
Yeah. Marmite motorway expert.
Link spins if anyone wants to jump on.
Are we talking about uphill gardening or downhill deep sea diving? What are we talking about, Indy?
We're talking about deep hole deep sea diving. You don't go into the blue hole, you go into the brown hole, mate.
But I actually think, to be honest, and it's only a guess, a theory, but I actually think that this vessel's probably imploded.
Just like fucking auditing Wales' first customers after him.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the viewpoint window thing is probably blown out.
Yes, but
Listen,
something like that would only need like a hairline fracture, yeah, in the body where you're fucked.
But then, as they say, that the people got stuff down there before, so surely that should have been taken into account as well. Should that happen again? An extra measures put into place.
Yeah, I think after this, there probably will be. Like I said, it's going to be.
Right, they say that. Listen, right, I've got another thing. Right, they said they've heard noises from it. How do they know that ain't something banging off the hull of the Titanic?
Well, they've said they've heard noises, but they can't pinpoint what or where the noises are coming from.
Well, that's bollocks.
So they can't even say that it's coming from that sub.
Sonar off a submarine, yeah, can pinpoint anything, yeah. Like the submarines we've got nowadays, it can pinpoint it with dead accuracy off them clicks and shit. Same as that helicopter that I was telling you about. How do you think they search for subs in the sea when they've got no subs out in that area? They send a helicopter over and they drop this thingy in the water, and it lets off sonar pings, and it reverbs and bounces back off of it, and it gives them a general direction and where it is.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. How can you still not know where it is if they've got that?
Because they haven't brought that shit into play yet. They didn't have enough time. Well, they did have enough time. They just faffed about too much.
Plus, again, you're talking about a needle in a fucking very dark case.
Exactly. All you're going to get is a general location.
It's all lit up down there, man, and it's all nice and bright, and you can see everything. It's pitch fucking black. You can't see shit.
Mate, I'd have a fucking rave going in that little Tic Tac thing, mate. Trust. Be fucking hotbox the fuck, mate. You wouldn't be able to see out the window. There'd be too much smoke.
Yeah, I'd have to take some magic Tic Tacs before you sent me down there, you can tell you.
Fucking magic Tic Tacs, mate. I'd have to take some fucking Rohypnol or something just to keep me fucking...
You know what I mean? That's
and my spare underpants. I'd have to take them with me as well in a fucking fish wrap bag. Can you just imagine being down there and someone farts in that thing, mate? Oh, shit, that'd be worse than drowning. Especially if they had a Vindaloo the night before. Shit.
Yeah. Well, unless
Fucking
you
letting
just
off.
put the fart, if everyone in there farts, maybe enough farts it'll make it rise again, man.
Yeah, the fucking hot air. Yeah, you're not wrong there. Should have stood down and stopped a beach of them. And Vindaloo
Probably
and
gas
tins.
yourself out, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you die, your body releases gases anyway, doesn't it? And swells up.
Our Outlaw's got a good thingy there. Yeah, most satellites they can see to the bottom of the fucking sea.
I don't know, but surely, right, if it's going to run out of air, say it's not imploded, runs out of air, then those bodies are never going to decompose, right?
See you later, Selena.
They will, but not as quick
But
as what
very,
they do
very
normally.
slow. Better, like, I mean, we're talking very slow. You need things like you need things like air and CO2 and these things to decompose a body.
Yeah, well, I reckon they'll find the capsule. I reckon they'll find it, but it won't be yet. It'll be about a week.
Maybe. I mean, it might get found, but I honestly think it's.
I mean, if the underwater couldn't swept it away, probably never find it, quite honestly.
Like for a start, if there was a cracked line here, let's say, for instance, in there, and water started gushing in, that pressure of that water would be so great that it would just cut through you like a fucking knife through butter.
Right, anyway, getting back to water, I've got some swimming to do on my game. I've got to go and dive under the water and save some people, so I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, go and have a bath, you smelly cunt.
Well, I don't need a bath, mate. I've been swimming in the fucking Thames. It's the cleanest water in the world. Bear,
Yeah.
you're a foreskin. Fuck off.
Have fun, Indy.
I love Indy.
All right, David's got a question. If you were in the sub, would you kill the others so the oxygen lasts longer?
Fucking, I don't know. That would be a right fight, wouldn't it, to try and turn on 4 other people in that small area, enough to be able to kill them all and be the last standing. I mean, fucking hell. Imagine that. Yeah. I remember as a kid I used to put 2 spiders. I used to get spiders as a kid, yeah. We used to find like 2 of the biggest spiders we could. This before I was fucking actually scared of spiders. Weird, isn't it? Right? And fucking, we used to put them in a jar, put the fucking lid on, shake the jar up, and watch the fucking 2 spiders fight to the death till only one would survive.
Evil bastards.
That's what I imagine that would be like, what David's explaining there, man. Fucking carnage. But,
I don't think I could. I don't think I could do that. To be honest, I think if you knew the inevitable was going to happen, I think I'd rather just like fall asleep and die in my sleep, basically. Down there.
like, you never do like an experiment at school or nothing with like pressure and get something like a metal barrel or a metal container or something like that and heat it up, get it really hot. And then after it's really hot, put it either in ice water or put cold water on top and watch what happens. You ever seen that experiment done?
I think the nearest we got to doing anything was like, with the Bunsen burners and stuff. But our science part, everyone just kept leaving the gas tops on, so we all constantly had to get kicked out of the science part.
Yeah, we done that at school. But if you ever done that or anyone ever done that, you'll know what I mean, man. Fucking in an instant, just fucking.
Would you take your own life to try and end it quicker? I don't even
What are
think
you going to take your own life with down there? I don't understand. What would you use to like? They ain't got a lot in there. That shitty little controller, a few screens.
I don't know what they've got. Depends what they've took down with them, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I can't even imagine what that situation must be like to be in a very confined space.
It's been down many times and people dive around it. If you're on about the little sub, Angela, it's saying that like it's made of fiberglass and the things that were pointed out years ago, you know, just every dive it does just weakens it basically.
And all that 4 day thing, how it had 4 days worth of oxygen. Who they don't know that.
Hey,
They don't
Jim
know that.
Star.
The longest somebody's been in one of those is something like over the 24-hour mark. Yeah, no one's ever locked themselves in it for 4 days and seen if there's enough air in there for 5 people. It's never been done. So where did they kind of get that idea from? I was watching some guy the other night, as I was saying, I think yesterday. What's the guy's channel? Sub something. He's got a fairly big channel on YouTube, and he must have a history of like working in fucking Navy, fucking submarines or something to that effect, or US Navy. And he was talking about a lot of things about that thing are questionable, man. A lot of things are questionable. A lot of the things that they claim that thing can do or has the capabilities to do, they've never actually put it to the test to know that that's never even been through those right checks to be signed off and said, yeah, it can do that. Yeah. It qualifies for that. I mean, half the fucking bits off of it were like behind the counter shit, right? To build it, I mean. It wasn't exactly the most high tech vessel in the world.
I'll be honest, it looks like something that's just been thrown together from what I've seen so far. It looks like the odds and ends and not even thought out properly.
They were saying that basically the money was all spent within the design of the actual cylinder itself. Yeah. So obviously to make sure it could withhold the pressure and all of that.
Well, that's shit in itself because it wasn't even designed to hold the pressure of that depth. So they've already failed before they started anyway.
Yeah, they've never been. Yeah. But again, this is why they got people to sign a waiver, man. You know what I mean? So then that way, when anything does go bad, no one can be sued. They
And
can
of
all
course,
sit there and say, can't be sued. What they're going to sue someone for? They signed it. They basically said that you're going down in a death trap, and the likelihood is you might meet your death. So you can't really argue with it. They knew what they were getting themselves into. Fully a lot grown-ass men. At the end of the day, even the son was 19. He's a man, can make his own decisions.
I mean, if anything comes from this, I hope that they are more stricter about what things can go down there. You know, and do make sure that they pass all of them things and are certified to be at that level before they even put a person in it.
Yeah, I agree. There should be, but the problem is we live in a day and age now, Anne-Marie, right, where not your average person, but these billionaires and things like they can afford to do some crazy shit these days. You know, like trips to space is like a thing now. You know, just because me or you like trip to space, we're not going anytime soon. But yeah, if you've got the money, man, a trip to space is like it's not even like crazy to think that you can go to space anymore, or into the space out of the Earth's atmosphere, at least. Anyway, I'm not saying like deep into space, but you can leave the Earth's atmosphere. So It's crazy the things that you can do now, and it's all like private companies, and these private companies, because they're not, it seems that they're able to dodge a lot of the regulations and things.
As sad as it says, mystical, but I already think that they're probably already dead. As harsh as that sounds.
Exactly, I would be with Vincent there. I have wondered that over the last few days. Are people less sympathetic and stuff because it is people of money? When I don't think it should matter whether and I think that's the same when Indy was saying there, like, yeah, they should have to pay for their own rescue missions. No, they shouldn't, man. Why? Because they're wealthy. Don't really agree with that.
See, with that, I kind of think they signed whatever they signed and knew the risks to start with, but I'm looking at it from the other things and saying if all of them flaws were pointed out years ago, then people should be held liable for it.
I'll give you, for instance, it's just a small little example. It could always happen, right? We go on things like theme parks, roller coasters, things like that, yeah? Every time you get on one of those rides, potentially something bad could happen. And we all know that a lot of them are designed in the way they are for you to get the thrill experience that you're going to get. But if the worst case scenario does happen, you're going to die. You're going to die. Fall out of a fucking roller coaster or something that's in operation. What's the likelihood that's going to happen? You're going to die. You don't sit there and go, oh, that fucking idiot got on the roller coaster. He knew that it could have happened if something went wrong. You don't sit there and have any less sympathy for them for that. So it's the same, really. It's the same principle.
Yeah, but I would still say with that, you know, they should do daily checks anyway, and they always ride the roller coasters before they let people go on at the start of it.
Yeah, but still accidents happen, right?
Accidents happen, yeah. But I would say, even that.
Let's shut down theme parks. Let's shut down all theme parks because people have died on roller coasters.
Hi, Emily.
Anything that we do that's without beyond fucking our capabilities as human beings, yeah, and we have to have some form of technology in order to be able to do those things, then it always comes with risks. And any of those times that, sorry, but death, even a car, you get in a car and you have a crash in a car. What are you going to do? You know, if you weren't driving, you wouldn't have crashed and you wouldn't have died.
Exactly.
To me or you, things like going to the bottom of an ocean that costs £250,000, it seems crazy. But just like say to someone who's a billionaire that's like £2.50 in their pocket, it's not.
See, I said this the other day, as much as, the history side of it, I probably would like to go down there, but on the opposite side, thinking, you know, people have lost a life there, I'd rather go and just put flowers there, like, and remember people that way. And as people say, you can see the ship on the film. I just think there's a lot of flaws that have happened before that even got in the water to begin with. There's a lot of things that should have been put in place that weren't or haven't.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with.
Hiya, PTC.
Yeah, I don't even think they'll find them. I don't think they'll find them.
I mean, no one's even said about the underwater current, you know, if you know, where that could have possibly took them. You know, there's always potentials where they could be, and then, as we say, Titanic's so far apart from each other anyway.
And because of the lack of basic technology that should have been put on that vessel that wasn't, right, is It's crazy, isn't it?
Why not
Not
stop
being
for
funny. That's
fun?
the other reason you're not finding it. Something that's the size of maybe a small van. Yeah. You ain't finding when these people can't even find fucking planes that crash into the ocean in a lot shallower parts of the ocean as well. Can't even find them.
Yeah, and I guess when you compare it to probably the size of a plane, it'd probably be like looking for the black box.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. Then they've still got things like the black box, which makes it a little bit easier for them. Nothing implemented like that in this stupid fucking vessel that's gone down.
Why would you
That's why
want
they've
to
got
go
to find
that far down? Let me highlight it because I can't read it. In the ocean. In this bean can. I'll be honest, it doesn't look big enough to fit probably 3 people in, let alone 5.
I mean, shorty, mate. I ain't finding something that size, mate. And if it has imploded on itself, there's even less chance of finding it. Because it's either fucking obliterated it into 1,000 pieces, or it's turned out something that probably looks like a fucking metal rod, where the pressure's that great, it would just fucking squeeze it to near to nothing.
I mean, if it's stuck as well, whatever they're sending down, probably can't even get them free. So even if they locate it, they might not even be able to rescue it anyway.
But to be honest, at this point, I'd probably say they're dead anyway. So let's just hope that it did implode for them, because I imagine it would be quite a quick death. I don't imagine they'd feel much.
I kind of agree with
That's better
PTC with
than
this one.
dying fucking with, because the thing is, if things like screens and stuff are still working, right, which, debatable if it's run out of power, but that means like potentially you're able to see, 100% oxygen, 50% oxygen, then you start running, do you know what I mean? The last couple of fucking percent of oxygen, you're like, shit, that ain't a very nice way to die, man. No, that ain't a good way to go for anyone.
No, either way, it wouldn't be a nice way to go.
Now, we did a good job. None of us have got 250 grand. Oh, actually, let's ask the question. After this, is there anyone, if it was affordable and you could actually do this, is there anyone in the chat that would be interested in voyaging down to the bottom of the ocean to go and see fucking the Titanic? Or any part of the ocean for that matter, in a little submarine? Was there anyone that would actually want to do that? Take price out of it. If price wasn't an option, like, a thing, you didn't have to worry about the price of it.
As much as I'd like to say yeah, I don't think I could.
And the reason I ask is because, like,
I mean, you'd have to not be
I
claustrophobic.
thought everyone's going to be like, no, 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 no. But in truth, like, there are a lot of trips that are done. Not just down to the Titanic, but if you start actually looking into this stuff and that, it's quite a common thing now. So it can be done, and a lot of time people, survive to tell the tale.
Are you sure?
Just like Everest. Just like things like Everest or other fucking landmarks that people fucking test the fucking boundaries beyond fucking belief. Just to seek fucking some kind of thrill or whatever, or achievement in their fucking life.
Angela, it said though that if they're stuck inside the Titanic, they wouldn't be able to cut to get them out. So are they gonna, if they are stuck inside the ship itself, what are you gonna cut the Titanic to pieces to save 5 people? That in itself is going to take even more time.
No, so I don't think it's a
I'm going to sound like a heartless bitch now, but with the video I seen, knowing that the CEO was down there anyway, and seeing him the way he spoke, I kind of thought you sound like a fucking heartless twat anyway, so I'm glad you're down there with the other people. I know that makes me sound like a heartless bitch. I know that does, but the video I seen, the way he was talking, he looked like he literally didn't give a shit about how it was or the design or anything. He just cared about people saying he couldn't do it and then being able to do it. That was it. Yeah, I don't think he actually cared about people's lives.
Maybe, but he was confident enough in it that he was willing to get in it himself. It's not like it wasn't something that he wasn't willing to do himself,
Well, that might be his only saving grace, that he fucking got in himself then.
But he obviously felt confident enough in the design and stuff, or he wouldn't have got in it on numerous occasions.
Me too.
Good afternoon, people. What's happening?
Coming on a submarine trip.
No, I just come up here to see if you had any subs for sale or something. I don't know.
Yeah, 250 grand, bro. 250 grand.
How are you anyway, Anne-Marie and Bear? You all good? The chat, are they all good? Yeah? Brilliant.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Have you been on happy pills or something today, Tim?
No, I've just, I'm just in a happy place at the moment,
Yeah.
Yeah, no happy pills here.
I was going to say maybe too much Monster.
Well, do you know what? They run out of those monsters now, so 59p, so I got to go for the next ones then now, but I haven't touched them for a while, just done my head in.
I had one yesterday, a Monster. What was it? Aussie lemonade or something.
Yeah, crazy, innit? They got all different ones like that, but I'm not going to bother with them. Especially that mule, after what I've heard just gone in them.
That's in all energy drinks, man.
It's not. It can't be true, though, can it? Come on.
It's not like, I don't know. Well, you do find that in bull semen, yeah. But I don't think it's a case of they're putting bull semen in the thing. They've obviously got a supplement. It's almost like a man-made supplement.
Yeah. But that's put me off, I'm not going to lie.
It is a myth, bro. It is a myth because it's a man-made supplement.
No, I'll stick to my tea and coffee, I think. At least you know what I'm getting there.
I agree with Chaz in her comments. I wouldn't step foot near it as well.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm sure he'd say anything, Susan, just to get the go-ahead to even put it in the bloody sea.
Do you reckon they're really down there, though?
Say that again, bro.
I said, do you reckon they're really down, are they there, or is it just like a big... I don't know. I was like...
What you think the billionaire was struck a cash so he faked his own death or something?
Well, you never know, see? It happens, doesn't it? You know what? I'm not saying... They probably don't... I don't know.
I'm sure loads of conspiracy theories will come out at the back of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they went out now, haven't they? The oxygen has went out yet, or they got a couple of hours?
Yeah,
Or
that's what I'm saying. That 4-day thing is again another lie from Ocean Gate, I believe, because they've never tested that. They've never put someone in it, right? They've never put someone in it for 4 days to see if that's a thing.
Well,
they've not tested that. So how can you say that? Same as like there's 18 sealed bolts around the outside, yeah, that can only be opened from the outside. So you need even when you get to the surface, you need a team to fucking undrill them or you're fucked. They could be floating on the top right now. They could be on the surface, but because they're fucking bolted in, they're dying.
Wow. So that's the only way they can get out is getting unbolted out, like.
Yes, and out of those 18, only 17 of them are actually bolted up. And they turn around and say that there is an 18th, but apparently mathematically it doesn't actually make a difference. So, yeah, they don't bother putting the 18th one in. Well, by not putting that 18th one in, does that not leave a potential chance of not being completely watertight?
Well, why didn't they just put an
I was thinking that myself, yeah.
That then surely doesn't make it watertight. I don't care if you've got a hole there that doesn't get bolted up, then surely to God, that's not watertight. I don't care what anyone turns around and says.
Yeah,
so that's why I believe that it has imploded, and I think it had something to do with
when you go into them depths, yeah.
When you go into lower depths, yes. So I believe it's all to do with that fucking 18th fucking bolt that doesn't get bolted in.
Well, yeah,
that's what I believe.
Mad, isn't it?
And on that basis,
I mean, the bolts will be at the back, won't it? And then the window viewpoint thing's at the front, so it could have just exploded from both ends.
So there's 5 of them, is there, in there? Or 6?
So it's got 5.
Crazy, innit? I mean, if somebody was bolting me in, I wouldn't be in there. Do you know what I mean? As long as I mean, that's just stupid, isn't it? Because I would have had a hatch, simple, and
PTC's got right, and they're the same as a car wheels. We don't need 4, but fucking safer, innit? You know what I mean? Just put the 18 fucking bolt in, man, for what it's worth. It's mad, absolute mad. But again, what people will do, what corners will be cut just for money, man. What people will do for money.
Yeah,
the lies people will tell for money.
Well, they reckon there's a ship or a cargo, or well, some sort of ship nearby that might do the job. Like, why is it being like just come out to daylight? It's mad, isn't it? I mean, surely I don't, I haven't been watching a lot of it, but apparently there is a ship out there, like I don't know, they go on voyages and all that, like to the Arctic and all that, like, and they reckon that it's just round the corner, like I don't know how many miles, but yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Pilot is a 77-year-old Frenchman, Susan's saying.
77. Well, I won't be going down in the submarine. It's mad, like.
I hate to say it, but age-wise and the pressure and stuff, you'd have to go through some sort of physical tests before you'd even go down to them levels anyway. I
would have thought so, yeah. They won't need testing, no, will they? I don't think they'll find them alive if they do, like.
No, crazy. I don't. I think it's been too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Sunday. We're on now. Thursday. Oh, that's a long time. Long old time.
What they should do is have a I don't know, like a torpedo flare. Like it comes out, and then if you can't get back up from it, like just fire it out and it go up, and then people know where you are, won't they? Like I don't know, but
no, you're right. So the design, like something like that would make sense, right? But it doesn't have anything like that, mate. And even else, when you just put like a tracker on it, GPS tracker.
Yeah, but it affects it, doesn't it? They were saying that they can't do that if they're going so many meters down, like they won't work. So
does-
Yeah, but if they went down, there's still got to be something at the top for them to launch off to start with. So something would have known where they started from.
yeah,
And then they
yeah.
could, the underwater current, they could do predictions of where they think it might have gone or which direction, possibly. I mean, I don't know how that works. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but to be fair, we're three fucking clueless idiots saying got a fucking clue about submarines and fucking rescuing people, innit? But I imagine the operation that they were or are in fucking in the process of doing, man, it must involve a lot.
Okay, if you put yourself in if you'd imagine that was one of your family members in there, and knowing that reports have come out or things have been highlighted years ago that have probably not been addressed, would you now be pissed with the company that made it to start with?
Maybe I might, but again, you can't be, man. It's down to the individual, man. I'd have to say my family member wanted to do that. They knew the risks. We're not
Yeah.
talking about like just crossing a road here. So we're not talking about should they cross the road or not. They surely, when you do something like that, it comes with massive risk. So,
but surely it must get a pass, like by I don't know, like the submarine itself. Surely before it went down, I mean, surely it should have been passed by like whoever passes these subs, like Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if they do. So anyone could build one and just go down there, like.
Literally.
same.
Susan saying a person who went down in the vessel said they went missing for hours last year. So again, if people have gone missing before, then shouldn't there be correction measures in place?
Yeah.
In
What's
case
that,
it
like 2
happens
miles
again?
down then, are they? 2 miles, about 2 miles, are they?
I don't know what 4,000 feet works out to.
Yeah, about 2.5 miles.
Miles.
2.5 miles. I mean,
That's mad, that is, though, isn't it? That's some distance, like,
it is, isn't it? I'm saying, man, it's just like being buried alive, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Wonder what must be going through their heads, like, well, I don't know. Sad, really, innit? Sad, like, wasting their lives, like, when there was really there was no need to go down there, really. I don't know what I mean, but these people, I don't know.
They love it, don't they? Some people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just that British billionaire guy, man. He's done some crazy shit. Crazy shit. He's gone down to a lot deeper depths than that before. In the Marina fucking Trench. He's been to space. Like, the guy's done some crazy shit, man.
And now he's stuck, like,
I have to ask then if there's a French fella in there that Susan said the pilot of it, and then there's the British fella. Are all of the countries paying for the search and rescue then?
He sure is a mad one, though, isn't it? When you think about it, like, because. Yeah. So these other people paid to go down there then, did they? Obviously. To go and see this shipwreck. Well, the Titanic.
Yeah, I think they paid $250,000 or something.
Okay, more money than sense, like, do you know what I mean? I'd only have to look at that sub and I think, nah, you're all right. Yeah, crazy. If you got money, then I suppose, money's not everything, though, is it? To go and get fucking killed.
I'm putting that up because I've got someone backstage and I never had them on before. Hello.
Tim knows me.
Hello?
Oh, am I in it
Hello.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see it. All I can see is you're in this shit.
Yeah, no, I'll put it up because I know people are getting pumped on lately.
Oh no, I won't palm bomb you. That's not my style. That's not
How
my
are you?
Ask Tim. Tim knows me. Don't you
Who's
think it's
that?
a bit weird? Don't you think it's a bit? It's Paul Taylor Cook, PTC.
All right, right. How are you, mate? All right?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
You all right? All good, mate?
I'm just cautious. I was even cautious with Bear before, actually.
Yeah, you have to. You've got to do. You've got to do. You've got to do. There's no point, is there? You've got to be safe on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think it's a bit odd this submarine just all of a sudden becoming in every feed, on every paper, on every TV channel, and that's just like a couple of millionaires and a couple of billionaires that have died. But at the moment, there's like a lot of ordinary working class people with a uniform on getting shot and bombed, and nobody's talking about where they're talking about these billionaires.
Yeah.
Mystical, I have to. You can say fuck's sake all you like. Yet I am for real because if you know people are choosing, cost of living, people are choosing whether they fucking feed the families or keep the families warm. So if our government's paying towards searching for fucking people that have paid to go down there,
We shouldn't be anywhere near there.
then that's on them.
Yeah, of course it is.
And it's all of the money of this country seems to be going fucking everywhere but where it should be going.
You know what?
Yeah.
It wouldn't even surprise
So
me
if you
there's actually
people have got
nobody
a
on
different
board.
opinion to that, then go for it.
But do you think if it was like, I don't know, say a submarine from the Royal Navy or something, they'd be down there straight away, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because that's their job.
Yeah.
Our job is not we do not pay. It's just insane, man. We do not pay. I don't understand why they'd be even attempting it when they're a private company. All the billionaire friends that can pay for a private
Yeah,
company. to go
I
down
do
and
get
do it.
that. So,
But
yeah,
the
I do
billionaire,
get that. Like, but
where are their
I,
billionaire friends? Where are their billionaire friends?
yeah, exactly.
No,
Are you
no,
sure?
no. What they're relying on is working class men with uniforms to go out and who are getting paid 30 grand a year, and they've got to go try and rescue these fucking knobheads just
Hey,
because
banter.
they're not
Sorry.
satisfied. They're not satisfied with just sitting in a garden and enjoying life for what it is. They want what other people can't have, so they can have this. Let them just
So,
crush like
so
a tin can.
surely, how did they know that they were going down? I mean, obviously they were like, if they wanted to see, like, I mean, surely they must have known that something was wrong. Like, so how did these people get, so obviously they were communicating, weren't they?
Well, there must have been.
Yeah,
It's either that. The simplest answer is always the correct one. There's probably not even anyone on that sub, but it's just a news story to take a war off of the front pages. We'll find out out in a bit that
absolutely.
something will be there's something we don't know, and only they know, because it doesn't make any sense. If you were to write it down, you'd screw it up and you'd throw it in the bin because it does not make sense. None of it.
It's a mad one, I'm sure. Like, but like you said, I understand if it's a private company, then yeah, they should, we shouldn't be out there. Yeah, I do
Surely
get that.
Just go off topic a second. Crinkle, you're an absolute cunt and you're never coming on my panel again. So you can fuck off.
One-eyed Willie.
That's why I don't read chats.
Crinkle, as much as people want to say it, Crinkle's not been on my panel since he go bombed Andrew J's. He's never coming on again.
He's a woman. Again. And I'd never have him on mine, I know.
Are you right or wrong?
They're running out of places to go out there.
Yeah, exactly. If everybody kept them off there, then
this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it. We, the tables of everything's turned. Everything's turned now. The power's not in their hands anymore.
No, that's right.
It's not, because you can just close all the doors to them now. You couldn't do it before because they could kick them in, but they can't now. They can't do it. There's too many good people that are enjoying talking to good people about good things for them to make a dint. I mean, they have done obviously over the last couple of years, and a troll is a troll at the end of the day. But their time's limited, man. They are numbered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their
Yeah,
days
yeah.
are numbered.
It's not going to be
Seriously
long
numbered.
before they're not allowed on any panel, you know, and good luck.
And
I
then what are they
agree.
going to do? Then they're going to have to be nice, and then nobody's going to believe them. So they're just back to it. Just humans are weird, aren't they, man? Properly weird. So how's everybody's day?
All right, not too bad, mate. Yours?
Oh yeah, sun's out, man.
Yeah, sun's out here as well. Like, it's been a nice morning. Like, you know, not gonna lie.
Everything's better when the sun's shining.
Yeah.
You got a comment there, PC, saying show some respect.
I don't read tech. I don't read chat, so I don't know if I show some respect of what.
People are dying and you're taking the piss.
Yeah, probably. That's cool. That's okay. I don't mind. That's just an opinion, isn't it? Of many. There's more opinions of flying around than there are fucking people. So if you were to take all those opinions, fuck me, man. You wouldn't get out of bed on the morning.
That sub uses Bluetooth. See, I'm going to sound completely stupid right now, but I would assume that Bluetooth wouldn't even use at that depth.
Don't know enough about technology to even think about it. I won't even.
I can't see that working Bluetooth all the way down there. Like.
It hurts.
I mean, fucking hell, it doesn't even work now. Like,
I know,
you're on bloody land. How's it going to work in town and sea?
Yeah. I mean,
imagine if it's
Bluetooth,
the same technology as your car, Bluetooth.
Wow, fucking crazy, man. So, you know, just we just use Bluetooth today, like, you know, just to communicate and that, you know.
I've got a £60,000 car with Bluetooth, and it drops every 10 seconds. So I don't know what it'd be like in a tube down however many miles below sea level. You know, it can't possibly work properly.
No.
And why would you even have Bluetooth? Why wouldn't you have it hardwired? You know, the most reliable way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know much about the submarine, or I don't know. They've used it before, though, haven't they? In some other surveys.
Think of it this way, Tim. Would you say that plugging your internet straight into your computer is more reliable than Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Same principle. I know it's a different technology, but the principles are the same. You wouldn't. I can't imagine a nuclear submarine being controlled by a Bluetooth, a Bluetooth Xbox controller from Wish.
Yeah, it's mad mind, isn't it? You know, but I still.
And they want me to have some respect for that kind of thought process.
Thanks, James. I couldn't remember. I'd literally just seen it. I couldn't even remember what it was called. Ocean Gate.
How dim-witted have you got to be, man?
Yeah, that's like from a couple of years ago. The race concerns.
It can't be that bad. I can't. When they showed the videos of it and the pictures of it, and I'm like, well, nobody in their right mind would get in that. Surely not. That's somebody hand building a car and coming round to your house and asking you if you want it. And it looks like...
I'll be honest, it kind of looked like a kid building a spaceship thinking it's going to blast off to space. That's what it kind of looked like.
It's seriously beyond my skill set, that's for sure. But in the same respect, I know what looks like it doesn't work and what does. I don't need to be an engineer to know that is not really what you should be going in. I don't need to be an engineer. You just look at it. Just look at it.
It's, you know, and you know, I think I don't know. I think if it was like my family in there, or I'd want you know, people to be looking for them. Like, do you know what I mean? I know it's like a private company. I understand that, like, but I
I wouldn't have let my family do it in first place, mate.
No, but I suppose money, you know, they should, I don't know. But
Then it's not about family then, is it? It's not about family. It's about experience, something that nobody else can experience. So then it becomes about ego. And then it becomes about ego and money. And when you put money and ego together, trust me, those people in that sub will have walked past more homeless people, more people in pain than we'll ever have done, because you do not get to those heights without stepping on people's heads.
Susan, it's got to get to a point though where it's going from search and rescue to just a recovery.
They can't survive that if that's gone down as far as it's supposed to go, and all the things they say could have gone wrong have gone wrong, and all of the safety precautions that it obviously doesn't have, they'll be just it'll be like a crushed tin can, won't it? That's the only blessing they've got. It'll have been very, very quick. But I don't know what it'd have been like when you realised it's gone tits up to the point of when it goes wrong. That must be the frightening bit.
And Tim's fell off.
Throw me the controller.
Thing in life.
Did you see it when he threw the controller to the other side of sub? And he said it was designed to withstand a 16-year-old gamer's attitude. That was a no-no for me.
I've got to say, so many days later, Banter, I don't think I'm of the opinion that it's not a search and rescue anymore. I'm thinking it's more just a recovery to see what probably has gone wrong. Not everyone's fallen off the panel. If anyone's come in that I've missed, then hello. Once the oxygen goes, it will depressurize inside and compress in on itself. Quite possibly, Shirley. That's when Coast Guard pull out. They said they will not be involved in recovery and rescue. I mean, I guess when it's a recovery, then does that then fall on the private company to recover it itself, possibly? How you doing, James? Are you good? Possibly is, Angela, but I think we're getting to the point where it's probably going to switch. I'm not sure what the update is today, Cindy. I've just been looking at things saying, about problems and issues being raised like years ago, and just about the structural integrity of the sub to start with. Would there be a black box on it or video inside? I'm not sure, Susie. Usually, I would assume they would document this somehow. But whether that's secure, if anything did happen, I wouldn't know. Same option problem, okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that, James.
James saying.
Chances are they might be unconscious and from their own CO2. I'm just trying to catch up because chat just keeps jumping. I'm just trying to catch up with it. Any shitty fucking troll channels, you're just gonna get blocked. Quite honestly. So it's pointless even coming in. Oh, yeah, Rob. Poor people consuming oxygen at the rate. We are putting more CO2 than oxygen available. Yeah, I heard that as well, Susan. CO2 scrubbers. Hiya, Kaz. It's alright, Susie.
Yeah, it's fucking game over for me, mate.
How much all on this? It's all to pay. I mean, is it a case where just anything that could go wrong has gone wrong?
I think at this point it's probably safe to say that.
I mean, even the scrubbers, you know, I would assume that everything's only designed to work for so long before it possibly cuts out. I'm alright, Kaz. Hope you're well. I don't know where Tim and PTC went. Just fell off the panel. I mean, what if it was Susan, but then it's being pushed in towards the Titanic? What if it's being pushed inside? Ah, okay, Kaz.
Yeah.
Hope things get better.
They're probably getting cocky or something, man. But yeah, go a little bit closer. Go a little bit closer. Like, fucking. They're in their own fault. Could have been their fault.
What are you up to, Boo?
not sure I can divulge what Monk on about.
Not sure I can divulge that information on here. Oh, Cindy's asking them a question. Are you jumping on Monk or are you still at work?
Is he just terrorising each other?
Yeah, there's nothing about that thing that I've seen so far that looks safe whatsoever. I mean, I kind of think if you're a millionaire, you could probably, build or design something better. Especially if you're going to put your life inside it. I did notice that, Susan, looking at the pictures, there was a young lad on it. I didn't know how old he was, but
I reckon they should take loads of the taxpayers' money and send all our MPs down in those. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Send all the MPs down, man.
I think it'd
Give
be
me 2
better
million.
tied to
Give
the
me 2
rocket,
million.
to be honest.
Is he had some happy pills? Look.
Up the fine, and it's just a way to advertise the trips to Titanic.
Ah, he's on the beach, isn't he? I forgot.
Hey, Mellows.
I forgot where he was today.
Well, you could jump on and give everyone a view of the beach, Monk.
Yeah, go on, Monk. You want to see the beach? Good one, BBA. What have I done now?
Go shift.
Good one, BBA. I'm lost, Susie. I don't know what you're on about, girl.
Have a good day, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, stay out of submarines, mate. They're not good. Have a good day, bro.
I mean, do you think it's going to get to the point where this is all, all we're going to do? Trips down to them depths and then the bloody
No, like I said, it's
plane
not
rides that fucking Richard Branson does.
But I did hear a bit of what PC was saying when I was foreigner in England. He has got a point. Why do you think it's gone so big on the news? I mean, I guess it is a big rescue and things like that, but it's everywhere, isn't it?
I think the hype is purely because it's Titanic, isn't it?
But yeah. But then
I don't think it's hyped up more because of people stuck on a sub. It's because it's attached to the Titanic. They've paid to go down to see that. I mean, if you remember at the start, they said that they'd gone missing near the Titanic. They didn't say at the start that they'd purposely gone down to look at that. But now it's, they've gone down to view it. That's what it is. So the story's kind of changed over the past week.
I just mean, I wonder what else is going on around the world right now that we're all being diverted away from while everyone's watching this over here. Surely there's something going on around the world, right? There's probably more interest.
It's probably a lot of things, even things being aired about now. that happens even during lockdowns that were never heard of because of all the other shite that everyone was piled with.
Do you think the same efforts would be made to try and rescue them if it was just some average people and they weren't billionaires or not?
I would hope so, but probably not. Yeah, cheeky sprate's got one. Human trafficking. Susan said, yeah. Cindy said, not at all. It just seems like every so often there's these cases where so much money, time and effort is ploughed into things.
And then ask yourself, for all the footage that you've seen so far, yeah, how much of the actual rescue have you seen?
From what I've seen, I can actually say I've seen none of it, quite honestly.
Some pictures and maybe a few clips of, but a lot of it's regurgitated over the last 4 days.
I mean, I've not even heard what ship was at the top that they've launched from to go down to
And
begin
none
with.
of us are able to get to fucking where they're located to check that this is even fucking like. And I'm not saying by the way someone ain't missing. I just mean like I don't know. Listen, just question everything. Question everything.
Susan's tracked it on marine traffic. Does that show like what ships are where and all stuff like that?
Yeah,
Susan?
yeah. It's a bit like you can do the same with aviation, can't you? Where you can locate where all the planes that are up in the sky are.
I mean, I know you can see like people's flight plans and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's very similar. And you can basically track where all these vessels and ships and everything else are.
Yeah, anything I've seen, cheeky, has probably only been on YouTube. I hate to say it, but where do you think it'll end up? Do you think it'll...
They'll carry on searching for the next 48 hours, I'd imagine. And if they don't find anything, they'll probably call it off, right? You can't keep something like that on for too long.
Sent
When
you a
you've got to look at
screenshot of the Rouge.
you know,
I can have a look at that.
percentages of probability on the fucking percentages that they're probably all fucking deceased is more, got to be like 90 odd percent. Fucking hell, surely.
Apparently experts are saying it's imploded or collapsed into pieces.
Yeah, that would make sense.
We'll search until tomorrow.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow, maybe just after. Ain't gonna be much longer.
Are you, KT? Susan, I'll have to have a look when I get off the live. ASD.
But yeah, geez, it has hit the news by storm, hasn't it? That's all it's really been everywhere. Right.
I mean, I kind of get the thing with diversion because it was all about Russia and Ukraine and stuff, and now it's all about this. And it's like, what else is being missed? As you say, diversion. Bear asked that before, UKT. Would so much money be spent if it was mere mortals? Carbon shell was only 5 inches thick, rated to 1,300 metres. Yeah, I was saying about that before, Rob, with the window. The window was only signed off to 1,300 metres. Not to like depths of 4,000. Is it metres or feet or whatever the fuck it is?
But again, they weren't. I don't believe they were naive to any of this, or like blind. Like they weren't probably told any of this information.
Well, off topic, Susan, I hope he's got permission to chop down the trees.
I'm chopping trees down.
Yeah, someone's chopping trees down by Susan. Some trees have preservation orders on them, don't they? So
Yeah, but trees are annoying as well, man. Trees can be annoying. Can do a lot of damage to certain areas depending on, where that tree's located.
yeah, but will people have to check if it's got a preservation order on before they touch the tree? Hey, bad boy.
If it's their land, I'm sure they can do what they like. Could be wrong.
Are you up to much this afternoon?
Maybe. Not really.
If you need to rant, Susan, feel free to jump on.
Go on, Susan. Have a rant, man. We love a rant. Go on. Let's hear it.
I kind of feel for you because I've had shit all morning from next door. I'm kind of wondering what's left to rip out when they took the bath and everything out yesterday. I'm kind of thinking, are they ripping the floor up or something now?
That was my best impression of a chainsaw. Uh,
And I highlight Rob's thing. They have no backup recovery, no independent tracking system. And when they sign waiver, they have the death waiver written 3 times. If you was into underwater stuff, you would question.
yeah, that's what I mean. These people knew what they were doing, man. Not that it makes it any like less tragic, but
I'm sure I seen something or comment, I don't know if Susan said it actually, that someone that was supposed to have gone on it either backed out at the last minute or suddenly couldn't go on it. And now I'm kind of thinking, did they know something that they should have let other people know?
I don't know. There's loads of like I say, there's conspiracies around the Titanic itself. Anyway,
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
and if you believe those conspiracies or some of them, to then maybe believe that someone was meant to get on it that then didn't, while this other guy gets on some of wealth as well, then yeah, it looks like history's repeated itself. But as I say, they're all conspiracies. I'm not know there's any truth to it.
I think this is all we're going to do for the next couple of weeks now.
Hopefully not. Or I would say to people that come on, everyone's been sucked into watching it or been interested in it in somehow, some way. But now move on, man, because if it carries on for any longer, I really do believe it's just deflection tactics, something else going on somewhere else.
I mean, I'd kind of say if people see other stories that are relevant to right now that are not getting highlighted as much as they need to be, then, you know, I'd bring it to a panel or bring it to a live and let it be highlighted even more.
Thing I worry about things like this is that, again, it gets a lot of attention while I don't know if it should be getting all that attention, to be honest, when there's a lot more going on in the world right now.
I mean, I have to say this, you've got 5 people missing at the bottom of the ocean that knew what they were doing. How many people go missing every single day? And I've looked, you know, I don't look at it every day, but, you know, on the police thing where they're listing people that have gone missing and they get no coverage whatsoever or are still missing however long after that was posted. You know, why is there so much coverage for one thing and not everything else? When a big story on front page, read page 2 to find out what's really going on. BBC was more interested. And report on interest rate figures at lunchtime. BBC are a pile of shit, Susan. They need fucking shutting down, in my opinion. Never highlights fucking. Here's a thought for the BBC. How about you fucking go and highlight your own corruption and all the shit that you covered up with fucking all the other shit that was there. All the Jimmy Savile shit. All the Esther Ranson stuff. You can't tell me she didn't set up fucking Childline to either help the fucking people. Either to help them or, you know, in my opinion, was it to fucking aid Jimmy Savile and his fucking shite? No, I don't watch any of it, Susie. Glad I switched off from it years ago. Thank God he didn't, Susan, quite honestly. I mean, you could say that, but then people are putting their lives at risk, no matter what situation, to go and try and rescue other people's life. So is there a point where you think, or people that were doing the rescue, is there a point where they think, is it worth my life to try and save someone else's? That wouldn't surprise me, UKT, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure that's a debate that could go on for God knows how long, just mentioning fucking BBC. And I'm sure all this sub thing is probably going to raise more questions than answers, quite honestly. But then there's probably going to be questions that people may not ever get the answer to. I wonder where you buggered off to, Monk. A lot of the NLI here. US Coast Guard 2 hours ago. The Canadian vessel Horizon Arctic has deployed an ROV that has reached the seafloor and began its search for the missing sub. Yeah, but Susan, how long can that even stay down there for, though? You know, has that got a time limit for it being down there? I'm not saying what I think I want. He's on mute today. The French vessel. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that as just deployed their ROV. I still have to say, you could be looking, you know, if you don't know where it is, or even search area to start with, and you could just be wasting time looking in the wrong area. Last one from US Coast Guard. Weather on scene, winds 14 miles with gusts up to 19. Sea status 4 to 5 feet swells. See, that's the kind of thing I'm thinking with, you know, tethered to a ship. Wasn't the sub tethered to a ship to start with before it went down? You know, it's got to have launched off something, so why is no one... So, yeah, I mean, it could have probably been mentioned, but I haven't seen it, so, you know, where was it launched from? Where did the ship that it launched from go? Or is it still around that area? Or was it a case of, I'll drop it off and then we'll come back at a certain time? It just seems, something seems dodgy and crazy to me. Like there was possibly an alternative to whatever it was supposed to be. It was screwed in from above water. That's just lost communication. Yeah, it's just madness. The submersible isn't tethered like an ROV. Titan launched from a platform that was towed. I see. Shows how much I know then, doesn't it, Susan? I would have assumed there would be something at least, you know, above, keeping an eye on it or tracking it, or, you know, should anything go wrong, be able to, like, pull it up. That's kind of what it looks like, Gregory. Hello, Optical. Right, I'm looking at the time, and it's time I have to go. Bear, I'm kicking you off because you're quiet anyway, so I'm going anyway. Thanks for coming on. Optical, I'm sorry you're coming back in when I'm about to go. Well, hello to Mrs. OT as well. I'm saying the vessel isn't a shoddy piece of shit, just to clarify. It kind of looks, maybe that's like an understatement, Susan. No, it wasn't something you said optical. It's that time of day where I've got school runs to do. I mean, as I say, there's probably going to be more questions than answers, but yeah. I will just say though, it's not about their will. So it's you know, I get what Vega was trying to fucking imply. I'm not going on about their will. Yes, they paid and signed whatever, but I think that all of the things I've seen, things should have been put in place before anyone went down in that sub, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm going to ask the question. Again, I don't know the answer, but you know, while all of them are being looked for, is there any other ships that have gone missing in the Atlantic? Is there any other ships that have gone missing around, you know, in the different seas that are not being highlighted? You know, and all of the other people that go missing every single day that don't even get highlighted. Still a wannabe. No, I'm not optical. Pissed off. A few ships have gone missing on YouTube. Mr. A, you still need to catch up with yours as well. Your videos. I don't know. Don't know who's live tonight actually. So I can't even say who's going where. Oh, seriously, it's Stokesy's quiz, isn't it? At R5. That's about all I know so far. Don't know who else is going to be live. Well, I will probably see you all in there. No, it's alright there. I've got to go anyway, so. Tim's live too. That's right there. Yeah, I think it's at R5 King. I will probably see you all later. I'm sure this topic will come up again, so if people think of any questions, I can remember them, and when the topic comes up again, here's the time to ask the question. You just said if it clicks. Right, I'll see you all later.